50, 45, there goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 590. Today is Sunday, November 16th, 2025. And, kid, the NFL slate was a really good one. I said the 4 o'clock window was going to be good. The 1 o'clock, every game outside of the Jags blowing out the Chargers, every game was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely one of the better weeks of the NFL season. A lot of games came down to the wire. A couple game-winning kicks, a couple, game-winning missing kicks. Still,
Yeah, and we could start in Madrid. Miami Dolphins get the win and cover the 2.5. We get there barely. I don't know if they should have won that game, but they both didn't look good. Let's be honest. I mean, I feel like the Dolphins shouldn't have been that close to just a injury-riddled Washington Redskins team. I didn't think Marcus Mariota played that well. I thought Christian Rodriguez, the kid, I think number 36, the running back, I thought he ran pretty well at times. Debo had a touchdown. I thought he played pretty well. Zach Ertz had a couple good catches, but overall, I don't know. They couldn't stop Devon Achane. Just keep giving him the ball. He was a menace in Madrid. Tua didn't turn the ball over, but I didn't think he played all that well either. But they do get the win. What was Mike McDaniel? Why didn't he kick at the end of regulation?
I honestly don't know, man. Mike McDaniels is a weird guy, but
they're kind of lucky that they won in overtime and they got the interception.
Yeah. So things kind of broke their way. A win is a win. Was it a sloppy win? Yes. Did they deserve the win? Possibly not. Washington Commanders, they're just like I said early on, they're just both these teams are just bad teams. Washington is just riddled with injuries. Marcus Mariota, he didn't play bad. He just didn't play well enough to win the game, in my opinion. Like you said, Christian Rodriguez ran the ball well. Debo Samuel on that touchdown, that was pretty good. But other than that, to start the second half, Washington didn't really do much other than that. Give credit to Miami. They kept on keeping on. Tua didn't turn the ball over. He wasn't impressive at all, but he didn't turn the ball over. So that's good. Devon Achane ran the ball amazing. And not for nothing, 171 and the win, you'll take that deal. I know you're not the biggest fan of McDaniels and Tua, but this is 2 straight wins for Miami. Yes, they're not going nowhere fast, but hey, they did win 2 straight. Give credit.
Yeah, the Jets won 2 in a row too. We're not talking about the Jets, but Washington, they moved to 7th now in the draft order. I'm looking at Tankathon right now. Jets move up to 4th, so we're still in prime position. We're still got a top 5 pick, but yeah, tough loss for the Redskins. And people that are my friends that I've talked to down in the DMV, they're rooting for a top 5 pick at this point. The season's over. They're trying to get a top 5 pick.
Yeah, if you could get, a top 5 guard, a right tackle, left tackle, somebody to protect Jaden Daniels for the next decade, or just add another weapon or possibly get a stud. If Washington Commanders could get healthy and also add a potential top 5 talent, I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's go to the 1 o'clock slate. Let me get this one out of the way. The lock has not been the lock. So I think I've only gotten, out of 11 weeks, I've only gotten 2 or 3 of my locks. Yeah. Bad read by me. Falcons, terrible. Losing to Bryce.
This is that is not your fault. Bryce Young sorry to cut you off, by the way. Bryce Young just had himself a career day, Dale. You can't make this shit up. Atlanta. I don't know what's up with Atlanta, Dale. This is 3 straight games where they could have won. They were in position to win, and they just couldn't finish the game. I don't know what's going on. Give credit, Bryce Young, Callahan with the game plan, Dale. 448. What's my boy Tommy Trouble with that 58-yarder to set them up in overtime. Rico Dowdle didn't run the ball well, but he caught a couple passes as well. And then Terrion McMillan, the rookie deal, he had himself a career best day as well.
Yeah.
Tutties, 8 receptions, 130. So Bryce Young, man, he's I think a game back now for the NFC South. Don't get me wrong, I think we both love the Bucks to win the division, but the Panthers got a shot now, Dill. They're live. We just saw Bryce Young have the best game of his career. I'm not threatened by them, but the Panthers might have something to say about the South.
Yeah, they're 6-5 and Tampa is 6-4. They're a half a game out. Not saying that they're gonna win the division, but they're a half a game back from their win total going over. It was at 6.5. Oh, I love it. The Meow Mix podcast needs to come back, or actually, maybe they don't because they stopped and they started winning. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't have banked on Bryce Young having this kind of a game, and he got hurt a few times as well, and still came back. This was like actually a game where he showed grit and determination against, I feel like, a pretty good quarterback. So Michael Penix ain't it either. He got hurt.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins came in. He really didn't do anything. Bijan had a good game. Drake London had a good game. That's all they have, really. I at times I think they use Tyler Algier pretty well, but they don't have a difference maker. Drake London's a great receiver. Bijan is a stud back.
This is 3 straight games Drake London had over 100 yards. He just didn't find the end zone.
And if I'm LA, we'll get to LA Rams in a few minutes, but they own Atlanta's draft pick this year. So Atlanta right now is sitting at the number 8th pick. That's for LA. Oh my God. So LA's like, yep, keep losing. They're trash. They're bad. And when are we going to start having the discussion? Raheem Morris is not a head coach.
I didn't like the hire 2 years ago, though. I was on record saying this. You could go back possibly 150 episodes or so. I didn't like the hire. They were at the time very it's out there, and I understand why they went with Raheem Morris. I'm not a Raheem Morris hater. I'm gonna just stand by. At the time, there were better candidates available. That's all.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's go to the next game, and it was a shootout. And honestly, the plus 5.5 was looking good for, I feel like, most of the game. And then the fourth quarter kind of got out of hand. But 44-32, the Bills. The game goes way over the total. They cover the 5.5. NFL players with 3 passing touchdowns of 25 yards or more in a game, 183. NFL players with 3 rushing touchdowns in a game, 357. NFL players to do both in the same game, 1. Josh Allen.
And he did it twice.
No, today.
No, but I'm pretty sure he did it twice.
Today was the first time ever.
No. Yeah, you did it once prior. Not for none. Yeah, it's an amazing stat. Shout out Josh Allen, Dill. After the abysmal, I'm gonna be honest, terrible performance last week in Miami, Buffalo had to come back and show up today offensively. 44 points back at home against a pretty good Tampa team. Not for none. Tampa gave them everything they had. Josh Allen and that offense just wouldn't be denied. When James Cook wasn't running the ball well, Josh Allen answered the call. Dill. 3 rushing touchdowns, like you said. 3 passing touchdowns. I don't even know who this guy is. Tyrell Shavers. Shout out him. He had himself a game, Dill. 4 catches, 90 yards, 1 tutty. James Cook caught 1 as well. Ty Johnson caught 1 as well. Dill, when you have 2 out of your 3 running backs receiving the ball for touchdowns, Dill, that's not a great sign. But the fact that you're able to score 44 points without a true number 1 wide receiver, that you got to give credit. That's impressive. Now, down the stretch, come playoff time, can this recipe right here, what we saw today, win these games come playoff time? I'm not sure about that. Give credit to Buffalo. Josh Allen had himself a day, even with the 2 interceptions. Now with Baker Mayfield, Dill, definitely, I remember last pod or the pod prior, you was like, Baker Mayfield was definitely playing injured. And now that ever since you brought that up, I was able to see it today. He might be playing a little injured. It's definitely the Baker we've been seeing the last couple of weeks of the season hasn't been the same Baker that we saw in the MVP conversation the first 5-6 weeks. So I'm not sure what's going on with Baker. It's nice to see Sean Tucker emerging as the number one back
He's
now.
nice.
Yeah. I'm not sure where Bucky Irving's gonna be back. Maybe next week. I hope so for Buck's sake, losing 2 straight. But not for nothing. Ibuka, he slowed down since a hot start. Um, yeah, other than that, though, I think Sean Tucker moving forward will get the starting realm over Rashad White if Bucky Irving's not returned. But give credit Sean McDermott and Buffalo, great win, 7-3, right behind our Patriots still. Well, my Patriots.
Right now for the NFC South, they're still a minus 600 favorite, the Tampa Bay Bucks, even though they're just a half a game above the Panthers. Sprinkling anything on the Panthers at plus 500, or do you still think this is the Bucks division?
It's the Bucks division, and it's not even close. Don't get me wrong.
Are we disrespecting the Panthers a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna say we're disrespecting the Panthers just a tad.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
So you don't give them a chance. You still would favor the Bucks.
I gotta look at the schedule, but do you think Bryce Young is gonna outplay Baker Mayfield for the remainder of the season? That's a question you gotta ask yourself.
I mean, the way he played this time, geez.
Yeah, the game. Yeah.
So I'm looking at it right now. They play Monday Night Football next week at 49ers. Tough game. This is for the Panthers. Then they come back home and play the Rams. So maybe 2 losses there. And then they're on the road against New Orleans, which I wouldn't. Well, after the Rams, they have a bye. Don't necessarily think that's an automatic win. That's a divisional game in New Orleans. And Tyler Shuck could play. Then they're home against the Bucks. Then they're on the road against Seattle. And then they end the season in Tampa Bay. So 2 of the last 3 games is against Tampa. They got a pretty hard schedule, the Panthers, actually. Yeah, maybe that's why it's plus 500.
That's why they're the Tampa Bay's minus 600. Strength of schedule alone is going to be a tough pass for the Panthers to win the South.
An ugly game down in Tennessee, and honestly, they were leading for most of it until Houston woke up in the second half. But Houston walks it off with a game-winning field goal, 16-13. Not the prettiest games. This was when I was on Red Zone and I had the other 2 TVs, this one was getting the least action. So not going to lie, I didn't watch too much of it, but from what I saw, we always say this, it's not the best when your quarterback, Cam Ward, is leading your team in rushing. So that's a bad sign. I feel bad for Calvin Ridley. First game back, broken fibula. He's out for the season now. Nico Collins, since coming back, he's been good. Still can't run the ball, but a win is a win. They're 500.
Yeah, Dill. A win is a win. That's how you should just credit this game. David Mills winning a couple games now for the Houston Texans since CJ Stroud with that tough hit just a couple weeks ago. Nico Collins looked good. Jaden Higgins had himself a pretty good game. Dalton Schultz, 6 catches, 51 yards. Give credit. I understand it was not an impressive win at all. I understand the Tennessee Titans did cover the 6.5, whatever they were plus. But Houston Texans are setting themselves up. If CJ Stroud could come back healthy sooner than later, they could make a playoff push. Not saying they could. Not saying that's gonna be guaranteed. But at least they're not losing the games that they should be winning.
Yeah, they have the number 1 overall pick right now. 1-9. They've lost 5 in a row, so not good times. Do they go quarterback? Or are you gonna give Cam Ward another year?
One more year. Give him another coach. Give him one more year. But
yeah, not looking good though.
Not looking good.
Minnesota 17, Chicago Bears 19. Caleb Williams, not the best game, but a win is a win. That kid, Kyle Mungangai, that they got in the 7th round, He didn't have the best game, but he had that touchdown at the goal line. You pair him up with DeAndre Swift. I think it's not the best 1-2 punch, but it's a solid 1-2 punch. Cole Kmet, welcome back. He probably had a pretty good game as well. It wasn't the best offensive performance from either side. It was more of a defensive side, but Caleb Williams did lead the drive for the game-winning field goal by Carlos Santos. He did miss one prior to the game winner, but I think he hit like a 40-something yarder to win the game. But, yeah, Bears get the win 19-17.
Yeah, another great game by Ben Johnson and his team. They just keep winning these tough games. Shout out the kick return. I forgot his name. That's also put him in good position to get the game winning kick as well. So Caleb Williams did not play well. I'm gonna be honest. He did not
Devin
play.
Duvernay?
Yeah,
Devin Duvernay? Yeah, I
yeah.
think that's him.
He had a great return to put him in the spot. Like you said, not the greatest, but the 1-2 punch in Chicago with Kyle McKnight and DeAndre Swift. Not for nothing, DeAndre Swift been having a great season all year. Roma Duze, he's been hit or miss lately. He started off hot. Now it's either him or DJ or one of them is gonna lay an egg. I don't know why is it like that, but one of those two guys is gonna have an awful game. None of them ever have a good game for some reason. But give credit to Chicago winning on the road as a 3.5-point dog, winning outright. And with the opposite side, though, JJ McCarthy for the first half of football didn't look good. For about 3 quarters, once again, he didn't look good. Give credit to him. He did have a drive to score touchdowns, hitting Addison to put him ahead with about 40-something seconds left, but just too much time. Give credit to the Chicago for sneak out a win, but both these quarterbacks did not look good.
Yeah, and I'll say the biggest difference for the Bears this year is these tight games they were not going to win last year. Last year, they weren't going to win these nip and tuck games. This year, they're coming away and they're winning it. And maybe that has something to do with Ben Johnson.
So, coaching.
Yeah, they're building a culture there. As for JJ, yeah, not a good game, but there were some drops as well. I was talking to you about prior to going on live. Justin missed one. Jalen Naylor missed one. Jordan Addison missed one as well. So, I think plenty of blame could be put around, but he is the quarterback. He needs to be better. We can't just have one good quarter of football. I know he led a nice drive to put him up late in the game, but you can't have a 1-point lead and then expect to win after playing 3 bad quarters of football. So he needs to be better. But I saw some things that I liked out of the kid. So offensive line needs to be better as well. I think that's a big thing. But, the Chicago Bears, 7-3. They're first in the North, kid.
Yeah.
First in the North. Minnesota, they obviously beat Minnesota. Green Bay, they won, but 7-3. We'll see what happens with Detroit tonight, but 7-3.
Once again, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say I saw this coming because I am surprised. They are 7-3 at the moment. But the Chicago Bears is the only team in the North that I did take over their win total. So we're looking good in that part. Shout out Ben Johnson. I think he deserves a tremendous amount of credit.
Speaking of the Packers, they did come out of MetLife with the win 27-20. We almost got there with Jameis. He did throw the pick, but other than that, I thought he played a pretty good game. Tyron Tracy, he had himself a pretty good game. Singletary had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Isaiah Hodges, he had a couple nice catches as well. Thought the defense played well too. I mean, Jordan Love, he did come out. Malik Willis came in for a little bit. Tough loss. In a win, you lose Josh Jacobs. We'll see how severe the injury is, but he wasn't able to return. Emmanuel Wilson came in. He had some carries. He had a touchdown as well. Hey, a win is a win. Going on the road, ugly environment today, windy, gusts like 30-40 mile an hour winds, going in there and getting a win. And usually we see like a team rally when they fire a coach. So they were fighting. They were in most of the game. And we do cover the +7.5 by the hook.
By the hook, Shout out, not for now. Give credit to the New York Giants. To me, they fought. I think Jameis Winston played as well as we expected him to play. We all knew the pick was live. The interception was live. But overall, though, what more did you want? The running game, 142 on the ground total. Multiple people involved in the passing game. It's just give credit to Jordan Love, even a little bit of Patrick Willis still, Malik Willis. Christian Watson looked good coming back from injury. Romeo Dobbs, we know what he's capable of doing. Jordan Love didn't have the best game. Let's just start there. But he put his team on his back, and he made game-winning plays when needed. So shout out Jordan Love. Like I said, it wasn't the best game, but he won the game in MetLife. Like you said, Josh Jacobs. Hopefully he's not too serious. He was ruled out. Emmanuel Wilson came in, did a pretty solid job, but wondering what's going to be next for the Giants. Is Jackson Dart's they're going to rush him back, or they're just going to let him sit out for the remainder of the season? It's going to be interesting to see, but this Packers team, though, they fall back after losing 2 straight home games, winning this one on the road, looking up on the north, though. I don't love their chances, but I think the Packers are still alive.
Yeah, the Giants have the number 2 overall pick right now, sitting at 2-9. They've lost 5 in a row as well. The only other team to lose more, and we talked about them earlier, is Washington. They've lost 6 in a row. Let's go to the next game. Pittsburgh 34, Bengals 12. Got this one totally wrong. There's no offense coming for the Bengals here. Chase Brown actually ran the ball pretty well, I thought. Joe Flacco, had an okay game. He went back and threw 40 times. That was the problem. T. Higgins, he probably had that touchdown catch, and that was about it. That's all they really could have done. But Kenneth Gainwell, 29 points in fantasy. He had himself a hell of a day. Both rushing and receiving, led the team. He had those nice couple screens. And who would have thought? Mason Rudolph coming in and putting some points up too, not turning the ball over, not getting sacked. We'll see how severe the injury is for Aaron Rodgers, but this is a good win. When he came in, I said, oh, they're live. The +5.5 is live. And then Mason Rudolph made me eat my words. This was a good win for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they needed this win, though. Losing back-to-back games, Aaron Rodgers arguably having his worst game of the season. And I just knew they had to show up and win this game. Because let's not forget, they lost as a 5.5-point favorite, 6.5-point favorite in Cincinnati just like 5 weeks ago. So they had to show up and win this game. Good credit. Mason Rudolph came in, and I know everybody was nervous about it. He came in and shut the door. Kenneth Gainwell ran the ball well. He caught the ball well as well. Jaron Warren, he was questionable with returning with an injury as well. So DK Metcalf has somewhat of a better game, but I still want a little more from him, especially for all the money the Pittsburgh Steelers paid him. But another solid win for the Steelers, 34 points at home. We need to see a little more of that. And defensively, I think Joe Flacco just wasn't that great. Give credit to the defense for making him a little bit uncomfortable, but still only 1 sack from the Pittsburgh Steelers. You need to do better. Give him credit, 6-4.
Right now for the AFC North, Baltimore Ravens -310 +290 for the Steelers. You agree with that?
Yeah, because the Baltimore Ravens have such more of a favorable schedule over the Pittsburgh Steelers. So even though they do play twice in the last 5, 6, 7 weeks of the season to finish it out, but I think right now the Baltimore Ravens are clearly they're just rolling a little better, and I think they won 4 straight games. Lamar's looking more like Lamar Jackson. The defense is finally getting a little more healthier. They're finding themselves. And Pittsburgh, they winning games, but haven't been as impressive.
Yeah. And what happened to DK? I thought he was a number 1.
Like I said, Dill, he's not living up to the money, Dill. He's having one of probably his worst season of his career.
100%. So we'll see what happens there. The most disappointing team I thought of the day had to have been the Los Angeles Chargers. Going on the road, and it's not that you lost. You couldn't even put up a touchdown against Jacksonville. And this Jacksonville team is so hit or miss or inconsistent. One week they'll suck, and you'll be like, I'm out on them. I don't think they're good. And then they'll have a performance like this. And then Trevor Lawrence is sitting there like, he looked more confident. He looked good actually in the second half. You don't hear those words come out of my mouth a lot, but he actually looked pretty good. 14 for 22, 153 yards. He did have the one pick, but outside of that, Jacoby Myers looks like he's a good fit. I like the kid Parker Washington. They ran the ball for almost 200 yards, and the defense played well.
I think the defense played great. When you're going to need Trevor Lawrence to go above and beyond, and your defense to do some of the work, most of the work, the running game is there. Like you said, damn near 200 yards on the ground. Travis Etienne been having himself a great year. Two tutties, 73 on the ground. Two in 74 yards as well. And like you said, Jacoby Myers, he's fitting right in. No Brian Thomas Jr., still able to score 35 points. So give credit to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But the real story has to be with the Chargers. It's not that you lose, it's how you lose, Dale. And Justin Herbert and his offense just looked unrecognizable today. He had a QBR 17. 17, Justin Herbert. So I don't know what went on today. It might have just been a fluke. Who knows? But this is just a bad loss to a mediocre Jacksonville team. So I'm gonna have some questions, and I'm gonna have to look at the Chargers really hard after today's loss, still. But moving forward, you gotta see what's going on with the Chargers. Because the fact that you got blown out by 29 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars, that's embarrassing. And now you see nobody saw that coming.
No, they did not. And what I didn't see coming, and I don't think a lot of people did, the Denver Broncos win again with a game-winning field goal, 22-19. They are 6-0 at home. They move to 9-2, first place. Kansas City moves to third place as well at 5-4. Fuck the division at this point. Is Kansas City even making the playoffs?
I'm telling you right now, it's looking tough, because think about it, Dill. Right now, they're on the outside looking, and they're number 9. So Houston Texans, I think they'll outplay the Houston Texans for the remainder of the season. Correct? Mm-hmm. Can they outplay Jacksonville? Because you already know the Colts. I think the Colts are going to hold on to the division, and the Chargers are right there. Denver is right there. Buffalo right there. So which one of these teams you think are going to fall off that Kansas City could catch? Is it going to be Buffalo Bills?
Mm-mm.
The Los Angeles Chargers?
Yes.
Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yes.
So there's a shot. There's a shot. You got number 6 seed at 7-4, the Chargers, and you got the 7 seed Jacksonville Jaguars at 6-4. I will take Kansas City to make the playoffs. The division most likely out the window, but I could see Kansas City outplaying Jacksonville for the remainder of the season, and I could probably see Kansas City outplaying Los Angeles Chargers for the remainder of the season as well.
So right now I'm looking at the updated odds for the Kansas City Chiefs to make the playoffs is minus 225.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. I just, the defense scares me. I don't think the defense is playing well. And we saw another fourth quarter comeback for this Bronco team. And it's the offense too. They weren't able to get a touchdown kid until the second half. Your first half was over. They couldn't get in the end zone.
Couldn't really move the ball well. The running game hasn't really been there all year. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes, but today we saw it, though. Rashid Rice didn't really do much. Travis Kelce had himself a game, and
they can't run the ball.
Yeah, when Travis Kelce usually has a big game like this, that's when we see Kansas City at their best, and they ball, though. To me, it's surprising that we saw Kansas City Chiefs score 3 straight games with 30+ points, and now when it matters the most against your divisional rival, with maybe not the division on the line, but the division is definitely out the window. You couldn't even show up and score multiple touchdowns, score 21+ points on the road against Denver. I think that says a lot from the dynasty Kansas City Chiefs. That this is no longer that. This is no longer the same Kansas City dynasty team. Now, can they turn it around and make a playoff push? I still believe so. Are there contenders? I don't know if they're contenders anymore. So I still like the Chiefs. I still think they make the playoffs. And for any team out there, I would not want Kansas City walking into my building. But give credit to the Denver Broncos. They won this game. I didn't think they would have. They won it outright. Give credit to Bo Nix. Wasn't bad, wasn't great. He played well enough to win the game. The running game for either team wasn't really there. I think Harvey only had 30 yards, but Troy Franklin had himself a good game. Pat Bryant had himself a good game. Shout out Corey Sullivan. He shows up every time to time. So give credit to Sean Payton winning a tough divisional battle. And not for nothing, the Kansas City Chiefs fans, you'll be all right. But that dynasty run might just be over.
Question on the Broncos side, they do lose J.K. Dobbins out for this season. I think that's a tough blow. It puts a lot of strain on the rookie out of South Florida, Central Florida, RJ Harvey. Thoughts on them losing one of their premier backs?
It's tough, man, because J.K. Dobbins, he's been having such a nice season for the Broncos, and this is something that's been lingering his whole career. Is this injuries, these injury bugs that ruins the rest of the season for him. So to me, I'm more sorry for him and him having another season-ending surgery than the 9-2 Denver Broncos, who I think will be just fine. Would they miss J.K. Dobbins? Absolutely, but the Denver Broncos are a 9-2 team, looking like they might run away with the division. So I think they'll be just fine. But another terrible ending for J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's go to the game of the week. In my opinion, it was the LA Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And for a moment, I thought the Seattle Seahawks weren't going to be able to get a touchdown. I mean, to be honest, they should have got blown out. Sam Darnold, 4 interceptions, and they had a chance to win the game with a 61 1-yard attempt from Myers, and he pushed it wide right. But credit this defense. I know they lost, but credit this defense for holding them in. Karen Williams had himself a pretty good game. And outside of Puka Nacua, who they couldn't really stop, they had a really good game, I thought, defense. They couldn't stop JSN. He went for over 100 again. AJ Barner, he's really developed a rookie as well. He had 10 catches for 70 yards. Kenneth Walker had a pretty good game. Both teams, I thought, were able to run the ball, but you can't overcome all those interceptions. And I said it in the handicap, the Rams have owned Sam Darnold. And I thought by the way he was playing, it looked like it was in his head a little bit. So we get there with the +3. Surprisingly, we were live to almost win the game as our dog of the week, but we didn't get there. I think Seattle will be just fine. This defense is really good.
Yeah, give credit to the Rams forcing 4 interceptions. The defense was just fine. I think it was a defensive hard battle for both sides. Seattle's defense is pretty damn solid, and I think the Rams has shown everybody they're for real. There, that defense is a legit defense, and Matt Stafford and that offense, we all know what they're capable of doing. I understand the numbers wasn't eye popping today, but 2 tutties, 0 sacks, 15 for 28, 130. I'll take that deal. Puka Nacua, he got stripped on that fumble. That was a great play by the defense. But other than that, excuse me, I think the Rams look good though. Not for none. Devontae Adams had himself a couple drop passes in the end zone for a couple touchdowns. But other than that, I think the Rams had himself a good game. And then we saw Seattle at their worst, still able to almost put themselves in position to win the game. So I think Sammy D in the offense will be just fine. Defense looked great. Give credit for the Rams for winning this game, but even with 4 turnovers, the Seahawks are right there. That just shows how good of a team they are.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, not to go back, how did I forget to talk about Spitgate? Did you see Jalen Ramsey, Jamar Chase?
Yes. See, that one is no doubt about it. Jamar Chase spit on the fire out of Jalen Ramsey. See,
you saw it?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. So I was watching Red Zone, and I saw that they got into a brawl, and I saw the punch that he threw. And then I heard afterward in the locker room, he said, the reason I threw a punch is he spit on me. And I said, oh, chill. I get that now. But you saw it. I didn't see it.
Well, I didn't see it live, but I saw it at replay. Though he spat on him.
Was it like a little spit, or was it like a loogie
Nah,
spit?
it was a loogie.
Oh
Like Jamar
no!
Chase smoked Newports. That's how what type of spit it was. You could tell
So
the mouth was a little dry.
so where Jalen Ramsey is, you have to see him for that.
Yeah, and he said it. He said at that point, you got it's up. He said, "I don't give in the locker room." He said he spit on me. It's up. I could give a fuck about football after that.
No, I feel him.
Yeah. Nah,
That's wild. I didn't see. I gotta look for the. If you have the video, send it to me because
it was on replay. So
yeah.
it was a like a loogie. You know, it was a nasty one.
Oh, that's disgusting. I was scrolling through Twitter for a stat I wanted to tell you, and then I saw the Spitgate, and I was like, how did I forget to bring this up? But yeah, that's fucking wild. I'm not the biggest Jalen Ramsey fan, but I'm siding with him. You just can't do that. Why was he even spitting on people to begin with?
You're down 20 something. You're frustrated.
But spitting on someone is crazy.
Hey, what are you gonna do? Punch on him? Get fined?
Yeah, I think they might get fined. Jalen Ramsey's getting fined.
He's getting suspended. Yeah. This dude just got suspended.
Who?
The guy who threw a punch on last Monday or last Damn, who threw a punch?
I never understood why receivers and corners throw punches when they need their hands.
I ain't gonna hold the only person to this day we saw them. They took their helmets off was Courtney Filligan and
Andre Johnson.
That
was a fire fight.
He's like that. They both took their helmets and they fought. And that was perfect. That was divisional rivalry.
Yeah, they don't like it. Well, I don't think Jalen Ramsey and Jamar Chase like each other either. Who did look good? Brock Purdy and his, people were questioning, hey, making your return too early. Why you 19 for 26, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, only 1 sack. Christian McCaffrey had himself a hell of a day as well. George Kittle with 2 touchdowns. Defense, Jacoby Brissett did not look good. They weren't able to run the ball.
452, Dill.
It was all garbage time at that point, though.
I understand, but we can't say he didn't.
The game was out of reach at that point, though.
I agree with you, Dill. In the first half, it was night and day. Brock Purdy, to me, the 49ers were just rolling. The first 2 drives of the game, you got the turnover to put themselves in great field position. The game was out of hand early on. I'm not going to just put it on Jacoby Brissett. Brock Purdy, man. It looked like he didn't miss a beat. This guy hasn't played since week 3 of the season, week 4. And here in week 11, the first game back, and it's like the same old Brock Purdy. Nothing crazy, but he's efficient. 133 rating, only 1 sack, 3 touchdowns, 19 completions on 26 attempts, 200 yards. Christian McCaffrey ran the ball well. Finally had a 20-yard run. The San Francisco 49ers never had a 20-plus yard run till today.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, shout out Christian McCaffrey, 2 tutties. He had 3. He caught 1 as well. George Kittle looked good in the return. Jawan Jennings as well. So, it's going to be interesting to see. Or Ricky Peaster as well. He didn't really do much, but it was good to see him on the field. It's going to be interesting to see. We know their defensive side is riddled with a bunch of injuries. But if this offense could look like this, I understand it was just for the Arizona Cardinals. But we know when CMC is rolling, Brock Purdy's doing this thing, and this offensive line and offensive weapons are healthy, Dill, I think the 49ers are alive. Maybe not for the division, but I still think they might make the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see. 7-5 too. It's a tough NFC West as well. They are in 3rd place, but they have games against Seattle, and they just beat Arizona. They'll be fine, and he looked good coming back from that toe injury that a lot of people say linger on for a while. So it was good that how he looked as well. Okay, we saw Shador Sanders entered the game. Dylan Gabriel did suffer a concussion. Here comes Shador Sanders. At this point, it doesn't matter who they throw out there. None of them look good. No, none of them look good. We still cover the 7.5. Somehow, some way, we still cover. I didn't think Cleveland played all that bad. They were in it in the beginning. They opened up to a 16. It was like 16-10 going into half. But then they laid a goose egg in the second half, and they couldn't score. And Lamar didn't play good at all. 14 for 25. He threw 2 picks. He was sacked 5 times. Shout out Myles Garrett.
He's
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Derrick Henry, he had himself over 100 yards and a touchdowns. Mark Andrews had that nice 45-yard touchdown as well. Not pretty, but they get the job done. It was a tough game. Like I said, I did expect the Browns to give it their all.
Yeah, give Miles credit, some flowers. He had himself a hell of a game. The defense gave it their all. They had their 2 picks, 1 for a pick 6. They gave everything they had. Myles Garrett with 4 sacks, but at the end of the day, as soon as Dylan Gabriel went out with the injury, we saw the writing on the wall. I wish Shador would have came in and brought at least a spark or something, but after his first 2 completions, still he wasn't doing nothing fast. I'm gonna be honest. So hopefully, if Shador, let's say if he's a quarterback next week, hopefully a full week of practice will go good for him because he did not look good. But good credit to Baltimore. This is 4 straight games now that they won. Majority of them on the road. Derrick Henry, 100 yards on the ground with a tutty. Mark Andrews with that 35-yard run with the tutty as well. Zay Flowers had himself a good game. Not the most impressive win, but a win in doubt. So give Baltimore credit. And hey, they're knocking on the Steelers' steps still. I think they're just full game.
Yeah, they're just a game back now, and they are favored to come out. They were favored when they were like 2 games out. I mean, just like you said, strength of schedule. They're going to play the Steelers 2 of the last 4 weeks as well. I will be at the game next week at the bank against the Jets, kid. So cannot wait to see. I'll say it. My two of the teams I root for. I have no allegiance anymore. None. What will I wear my Garrett Wilson jersey? Will I wear my Lamar? Who knows? Who knows? Hey, it's up for debate. I will say I am sitting with Raven fans, so we'll see. But kid, that does it. As for our dog, Lock did not get there. Falcons trash. Dog, surprisingly, outside of the 4 picks, we were live for the dog of the day still with the Seahawks. But we get there with our teaser. Seahawks +9, Texans +0.5, and Ravens -1.5. So we get there with the teaser. We get there with the prop of the week with Trey McBride as well. So 2 for 2. I'll take it, but I cannot get there with my lock. I just can't.
Yeah, didn't get there with my lock. I took Kansas City Chiefs -2.5 first half. 6-6 into halftime. Bombs. That's why they deserve to lose the game. Couldn't even go into half winning against the Broncos. We got there with our player prop. Shout out to Higgins. Yeah, I think it was 57.5. I think he had 60-something yards. Our dog is still live. I took the Detroit Lions on the show. I said I like Chicago. Should have just took Chicago as the dog. They already won outright, but I still like the Detroit Lions tonight. And then my teaser.
Bucks.
I've been saying it. I might go back to 2-leg. Next week, we're doing a 2-leg teaser till we win. So going back down to 2-leg. Couldn't get there with the Bucks. Teased the Bucks to 11.5. Couldn't cover the 11.5. Even they were up a couple times in the game. Couldn't cover the 11.5.
Yeah. Teasers have been your Achilles heel for, I was going to say a little over a year now.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2 years. Not for now. Well, my teasers, I got to be at all time
20%.
Nah, I'm going to say if we did 30 of them, like two years worth, I'm going to say 9 and 21. Something like that. Not great.
That's actually better than I was thinking, honestly.
No, because I hit some.
No, you have. I'm not saying you haven't. I'm just saying lately they haven't.
No.
Yeah,
I think I'm like 3-8 this year.
this year. Something. Hey, that's like my locks, honestly. So it's all good. It's ebbs and flows. But all right, kid, good luck tonight. As for man, I don't know if you watched the game Friday night. Clemson. There was opportunities for Louisville to win the game, and they just didn't want to win.
They didn't want to win. Give credit to Clemson.
There was two field goals that they missed at the end.
I saw it in the first quarter. I knew Louisville was in trouble when they couldn't take control of the game. And they're clearly a much better team. They couldn't take control of the game in the first quarter. And I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I was sick. I came back from I went to a Magic show. It was fire. I'm not gonna lie. Come back perfect for the fourth quarter, right? And I'm sitting there. I'm like, yo, how is this a game? I'm sitting there sick.
And it went up.
And game went way under. And I'm sitting there like, oh, opportunity to win the game. Missed the field goal. I'm like, all right, defense gets a stop. They get the ball back, and they missed another field goal. I'm sitting there like, bro, this team they don't want to win. I was sick, so we didn't get there with Louisville. What a game. I don't know if you saw any of the Texas A&M, but for them to come back 28 unanswered points at home. Holy shit, they beat South Carolina 31-30. They squeak out of there. They're still undefeated.
Ain't gonna hold you. That state trooper give them all the energy they needed.
Yo, what was good with him? Why was he touching the player?
Yeah, he won't deserve to ever be allowed at any college event ever again. He's probably a good cop. I'm not gonna, downgrade him or anything like that, but he just doesn't deserve to be in a college game again. That's all.
Yeah. What happened with Alabama, kid?
I don't even want to talk about it. That was embarrassing.
That was a bad performance. At home, now understand if they went to, Norman, Oklahoma, and they put up that performance. But at home, I like Ty Sampson. I didn't think he looked that good, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he definitely lost the Heisman yesterday. And I don't even think he's a favorite, but he definitely lost it.
Archie Manning did not look good either. It was always good to see that. They got blown out by Georgia. Yeah, and honestly, if it takes for me to bet on Texas for them to lose, that's what I'll do.
That's what I finally bet on Alabama,
and look, they wound up losing. So Texas Tech, they roll. They beat UCF. They beat them by like 4. They beat them by like 30 something. Notre Dame, big win against Pittsburgh, excuse me. BYU, they are a juggernaut. That should have been my lock of the week. Miami, big win against NC State. Georgia Tech gets back into the winning column. Close one. Did not expect Bill O'Brien to play that close against Georgia. They only win by 2. Michigan, they barely squeak out of Northwestern 24-20. Virginia, they get back in the winning circle. They beat Duke 34-20. Shout out Navy, baby. At home, bounce back. They beat 24th ranked South Florida. That was the team I was trying to bet on last week. They got their ass beat by Notre Dame last week, but they come back this week at home. They get a top 24 win in Annapolis. It was a great scene. But overall, how did you do in college? It was just a one play?
0-2, dude. I took Alabama. I took Louisville, man.
Tough one.
By
the way, did you see the fight? There was a hell of an event at Madison Square Garden.
3 knockouts still. Oh my God. That's what you love to see. And I shout out, and not for nothing, man. It was a royal battle, Royal Rumble on the front row.
Dylan Dennis.
Yeah, so another great card by the UFC, but shout out to the finishes. That's especially at the Garden. That's what people wanted to see. So yeah. I'm glad that people got what they wanted to see.
People were upset that the two title fights were kind of dominant and went to decision. And after seeing all those knockouts, they were kind of spoiled at that point. But
was the championship fight, especially the main event, was it not as exciting as we wanted to be? Absolutely,
but he dominated. You just gotta respect like pure. He's a 2 division champ. He's probably the best, almost outside of John Jones, the best to ever do it. He's better than Khabib at this point, in my opinion. So, and Valentina, yeah, she's the best ever either. Like her and Ronda Rousey are probably the best female fighters of all time.
No,
And I know it's like boring, but they dominate for 5. You got to respect the martial arts aspect of it. But yeah, Michael Morales knocked out Sean Brady in 3 minutes. Carlos Pratchez, I fucking was out there smoking darts with him. Knocked out Leon Edwards. Benoit Saint Denis. He knocked out Benny in 14 seconds. Holy shit. Yeah. So the main card started off with a bang as well. So yeah, it was a really fun card. I don't know if you saw any of it, but I just wanted to mention a little bit of that real quick. But yeah, kid, that's it. You worked on your car this weekend or no?
yeah, did some work. Not much, but 2 weeks is to go. 2 weeks.
All right. We're looking towards December. I'm gonna come back in 2 weeks, and if you say 2 weeks again,
No, man, it's not. If it was up to me, man, the car would have been done months ago.
No, I know. All right, kid, before we get to our plays, a quick word from our sponsor. We're brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer. The most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. Is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzers because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks. So just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching Monday Night Football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, Monday Night Football, and we will head to lovely Las Vegas, where the Raiders are hosting the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cowboys are laying 3.5 here on the road, -188 on the money line, +158 for the Raiders. Total is at 49.5. I'll let you lead it off, kid. What do you like?
First, let's start with the total, though. I think I like the over 49.5. Let's just be honest. Both the defenses are horrendous. Shout out my boy Max Crosby. I think he'll have himself a couple of sacks. But other than that, I think both secondaries are atrocious. So lean the over 49.5. Give me the Dallas Cowboys -3.5 on the road. Who will anybody be to first take the Raiders on the money line, and then also take them plus the points? There, what have they shown you? Yes, I understand they were a little competitive the week prior against the Broncos, but I just don't see that defense stopping Dak Prescott and that offense for Dallas. Dallas defense sucks still, no doubt about it, but that offense is going to show up. Give me the Dallas Cowboys -3.5 in Las Vegas.
Cowboys are coming off their bye, so I understand why they're favorite. Raiders played on Thursday night, so kind
They
of
got
mini.
boy making his debut.
Yeah, Geno isn't 100%. This might be a Kenny Pickett game, which might be better at this point. I mean, Geno Smith has not been good, so I think this is a prop game, and we'll get to the props in a sec, but I think this is a fun game. But at home, don't trust the Cowboys, honestly. And like you said, I do think the Raiders, they played some inspiring football on Thursday night. I probably would take the +3.5 here with the Raiders. I'm not going to take the Cowboys. So I agree on the total, though. I do think we'll see some points here. I just can't take the Cowboys. Fuck the Cowboys. So I'm not going to take the
I ain't
Cowboys.
mad at you, dude. I ain't mad.
I'm not going to take the Cowboys.
I'm not putting no dollars that I worked hard for on Geno Smith. I'm sorry.
What about Kenny Pickett?
Who?
but like I said, it was tongue in cheek, but he might be better at this point than putting out Geno Smith. If I'm Pete Carroll, and
it's harder to deny that.
Yeah, right. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
but we both know who you rather start.
Yes. But, shit, I might want to fucking start Kenny Pickett at this point. I hate him. I don't like either.
I'm pissed off. Aiden O'Connell is ruled out. Shit.
Yeah. I hope Brock Bowers. Oh, this great comment. I was literally just thinking this. Shout out Adam. I was thinking this could be a Brock Bowers game as well. We'll get to the props in just a sec, but yeah, both on the over. I'm gonna lean here with the Raiders, just getting the points. I don't feel comfortable taking it, but like I said, I think this is a props game. But yeah, let's get to that. Our prop segment is brought to you by Props.Cash, the best way to research all your player props. Elvis and I have been using Props.Cash for 2 years now, and it's helped us find an edge in several player prop markets. We both hit our props on Sunday night or Sunday during the day, and we're looking to hit it on Monday night. You can go on the web or in the app. You'll get quick visual data on player trends, matchup history, recent performance across every major sport, clean, reliable stats that make it easy to spot value. Plans start at just $19.99 a month, and right now you can get 25% off your first month with code DREAM25. That is DREAM25. So download the app, not now, but right now. Sign up with the monthly subscription. Use code DREAM25, and you'll be paying just $14.99 your first month. Level up your prop research today at Props.Cash. Kid, what is your prop for Monday night? Or rattle off whatever you got it, because I got a few as well.
We brought up a tight end. I'm gonna attack the tight end spot though, but I'm gonna help us decide. I think it's a little low for Jake Ferguson. Give me Jake Ferguson over 35.5 at -116. I was gonna hit George Pickens again, Dill. I think we're like 3-0 on this show when we take George Pickens over, but the Vegas is finally woken up a little bit. His total is at 66.5. That's around his range. I think his average is around 72. So still lean George Pickens over because he's got that dog in him, top 5 in receiving yards. But give me Jake Ferguson over 35.5 receiving yards.
Real quick, Adam Schefter just tweeted out, the initial concern is that Aaron Rodgers has, in the words of one source, quote, a slight break in his left wrist, but he will go further testing in an MRI on Monday morning to determine the full extent of the injury, how long he will be shaped out for.
Isn't a slight break a fracture?
Yeah.
So he fractured his wrist. He's
allegedly. So the plan, right, Adam Schefter said, is Mason Rudolph to start versus the Bears next week. And that stinks because he owns the Bears.
Yeah. That's a discount double checking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was Aaron Rodgers prop game. Yeah. All right. So you said Ferguson. Real quick, I know I'm on the Raiders side, but Dak Prescott to throw 1 touchdown. His mark is at a 0.5. It's at plus 155 right now.
No way.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
yeah, he's juiced over 1.5.
It's minus 158, but I still like it. I mean, he has a good matchup against a Raiders secondary who's not good. And I just think he could go against, like you said, Jake Ferguson, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb. I like CeeDee Lamb over 26.5 longest reception. He's gone over this number in 8 of his last 10 games, and he has a good matchup. Raiders are ranked 24th against the wide receiver this year, and his longest reception, he's averaging around 34, 35 yards per game. You could get over 26.5 longest receptions at minus 110. I like that. I know you took it, I think maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. George Pickens, his receiving yards I was looking at as well, 64.5. He's averaging 85. He's gone over this number in 8 of his last 10 as well. I like that as Geno Smith, anytime interception. You get that at minus 120. I was looking at Jake Ferguson, but I wanted to go with the receptions. And that's, again, it's at 4.5. We hit it last week, and he got 5. I like that a little more than the receiving yards for Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson, what was it, 35.5 you said?
5.5.
Yeah, I guess I kind of like the receptions a little more. He's gone over this in 7 of his last 10 as opposed to the receiving yards. He's only gone over this in 5 of his last 10. So I kind of like the receptions a little more. I do think he'll be involved in this offense, though. So those are the props that I was looking at here. But I do think this is a prop game.
Yeah, I also like little juice. I like Genty anytime touchdown at minus 145. Like I said, I think Geno Smith will be able to move the ball on this Dallas defense, and I expect Genty to get in. So give me Genty anytime touchdown minus 145 as well.
All right, kid. Well, good luck. Hopefully, we end week 11 in a strong note. 8 games here in the association for you. Pelicans fired their coach. Saw that coming. Uh, dude, this fucking Detroit Pistons team, they
Wag.
are a wagon right now. My Knicks are hurt. Jalen Brunson sideline. OG has a hamstring injury. He's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. By the way, Devon Ham undefeated in these games. What are they called?
Cup games.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they're called. He's 16-0. Did you see that?
16-0. Remember, he won it with the Lakers. So shout out Darvin Ham, man. He's out here winning these cup games.
That shit's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you like here for Monday? 8 game slate.
Yeah. Give me the Detroit Pistons laying the 8.5 versus Pacers, who's just riddled with injuries, have the worst record in basketball right now. Give me Detroit laying the 8.5 at home. 76ers. Kind of want to lay the 4.5 here. I just feel like it's a tough spot for the Clippers on the road. Give me the 76ers at home -4.5. Give me the Heat. I think the Heat take care of business against your Knicks, who's dealing with a lot of injuries as well. We saw the Knicks just beat Miami, I think 2 days ago at the Garden. I think Miami bounces back.
Landry Shamet had 30.
Look, Hardy could have gave you that in the conference finals. Maybe not 30, but he could have gave you a couple buckets if y'all played them more, Dill. And then I think with Toronto, they are the better team, but 7.5 points is a little too much. I would lean Charlotte plus 7.5 against Toronto. And I think 12.5 points, don't get me wrong, Dallas ain't that good. But 12.5 points against Minnesota, not official, but I kind of lean to 12.5 as well.
Yeah. And as for my college basketball players, I'll put them out either tonight or tomorrow morning. Got some work to do. I still want to fix some things up and have some final plays that I want to lock in. So as for that, I'll put them on my action app. But kid, any last words before we get up out of here?
Hopefully tonight's a good game, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully both offenses look good. I have no doubt Lions offense should look decent. Hopefully they cash for the dog of the day.
What are the odds that you stay up for the whole game? Plus 500.
Plus 3,500.
Plus 35. I counted 6 yawns in the show. I don't know if you'll get to the second quarter tonight, kid.
I'm going to be real. 9 o'clock is called. 9 o'clock is
Oh, my God. We're getting to that age, kid.
2-minute warning. So
yeah, you're out.
I didn't even have 2-minute warning.
Well, kid, enjoy the game. Good luck for your dog. Hopefully that cashes. Enjoy Monday Night Football. Good luck on all your bets. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.